Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. It is me, Just Be Audrey Lane. I thank you guys so much for subscribing to the channel. And make sure you hit that bell so you can be notified of when a journal process is up and going for you and for myself. So I am going to start off with the date, which is going to be Sunday, August 15th, 2021. And yeah, I went and watched my journal from, I believe it was yesterday, and I believe I said March. However, we are not in March, we are in August. So I wanted to come to you guys. Yes, it is late because today it is actually 11 o'clock on the dot. But I was not going to let the day go by without making sure I wrote in my journal. So I'm doing a video process now, part of it. And today's topic for me was, which biblical character or characters do you closely relate to? And I put David and Joseph. And then we all know how I feel about Moses. So I need to put Moses there because, man, Moses for me, when it comes to like speech and talk and like feeling like how do you want someone like me when I struggle in these areas? And it'd be so weird that we kind of classify our gift and our calling from God, and that we gotta be used with our voices, our looks, our speech, um, our thinking capability, and that's not what it is. You know, when God chooses us and He sees fit to use us, He can care less about all of that. So we got to remove it out of our heads because He see fit in all of the things that we set up as a fear and to get in the way of our thinking, so we back down from it. We cannot. We cannot. Trust me, if God chose you, it's for a reason. He sees you. He knows you. And I have to make sure I'm not just saying it to myself. I'm saying it to you guys too. I know how I talk a little bit in my journal process, that it can kind of throw, you know, people off. But like I say, I do this. This is real for me, and how I, write things down and how I speak it out. I you talk about tonight. I was coming on to basically let me write Moses, but tonight I was coming on to literally only be in this process for a little bit because I don't want my video to kind of be posted late. But if it is, it's okay because I want to get out what God needs me to get out for Him. So in the midst of me looking up, why is it that I chose David and Joseph? And then now I could tell you why I love Moses. Man, it's, ooh, Moses has, uh, he had a lot of load on him, a lot of load on him, and even though he didn't think that he was, you know, fit for this job and fit for what God needed him to do, he still took it on. And how about he took on a job without even knowing that he took it on? Like he had Aaron come along with him in the process. But if you really read it, he was taking on a job without him even knowing that he fully had it all with what God needed him to do. Man, that's why I love it. Yeah, yeah, I love it. Moses is one for me. Man, every, I could go on and on. And especially because, like, if you really go for the commandments, he had to sit and literally listen to what God was giving him and all the instructions and write them out. You talking about someone who thought that they even couldn't even speak well, couldn't even, have the language of what God needed him to do. He ended up doing all of the things God needed him to do because it was like, man, I would like to have a conversation with Moses. I swear, I do. Hmm. I want to know some things. I want to know some things. How? How? But anyway, so let me get into why I chose now David and Joseph. And I want to say more so all of them because it will be hard to kind of, do all three. But mainly because the underdogs. And basically, they all came, God chose them for a reason. He didn't look at their stature. He didn't look at their build. He didn't look at, what, the outside would look at. He didn't look at any of that. He knew their character. And he knew, more importantly, that this is my child and this is who I, me alone, choose. And that's something for me. And it got me to all three, and mainly the two, because Joseph sits in a different place for me. Well, I meant to say Moses sits in a different place for me because Moses' fight was a little bit different. Moses' fight really came different for me. So I'll go over why Moses is a little bit different for me later. But David and Joseph for me kind of stuck because a lot to do with like the siblings and a lot to do with like how people just did not see them being fit. And the same thing with Moses, didn't see him being fit. And I want to say, people will have you boxed in, and the whole thing about it is you cannot allow it. One, you can't allow yourself to be boxed in because some of the times we'll box our own self in. You gotta break free from that. Don't have that thinking. Don't. One, I will be lying to you if I sat here and told you what God has me here for. I don't know. I don't know. My new process of how I make sure I just sit in Him and actually just am learning who He is for me now, and not even just for me, who He is, period, alone, has been so amazing. I will tell you, when I told you guys I was going to be doing for the month of August, since it's 31 days, um, 31 minutes of prayer, basically adding a minute each day. So tonight, definitely, I'm up to 15 minutes. If I could tell you just the walls that have been coming down, praying intentionally to Him and asking Him to show me how to have a conversation with you. I don't want to ramble words. I want to actually come to you real. I want to come to you in the way that is proper. How you see fit. And I can see my conversations with Him changing daily. Not only am I doing prayer with Him, how is it that I've always heard you need to have a prayer life? You need to have a prayer life. Get a prayer life with him and watch things shift and change for you. Here it is, my life has been shifting and doing like some weird, not weird in a bad way, but some things that I like. God, man, I'm praying to you and you have changed things. You have turned things around. I am so happy. I am so grateful. Here it is. I'm in day 15 of not just doing it for 31 days. Like I said, God, this 31 days, it was like, you know, you showing me and letting me know to come to you going forth. The showcase showdown for me of I want to do this now because I'm in day 15, and when I tell you my life has did a total change, things I'm like, man, I thought I was praying to you and you were changing things, and now I can say it's not just necessary praying to him. It is where I say now I'm praying intentionally and praying with, the right heart, praying with him in the right mindset. Man, who, Jesus? I want to word this right of how, okay, I'm just going to word it how it came. We are in a fight for our lives, a fight. When I tell you, I said it the other day, we are at war. There is a spiritual warfare thing that we are going into, and we got to suit up hard. So it made me look at why David and Joseph are some key warriors for me. How about I end up looking it up? And I looked up where it's like they fought to win. They fought to win. And you know what it is? They showed up for the fight. God did it because he knew the results. He knew what was going to happen. And we just got to show up. God handles it from there. But you got to show up with that daggone mind frame and mindset of, I ain't coming to lose. Nope. I ain't coming to play no games. I came to win. Yep. And then it made me look up some key stories and everything. So I wrote to myself, Audrey Lane, you better fight to win. You better stand up and fight. Fight. Fight, fight. And sometimes the fight ain't even going to be fair. But you better fight to win. You better fight to win. Because we are at a place in our lives, and I know for me, I'm in a place in my life right now that I can't afford to lose. I can't afford to lose. So I'm breaking generational curses. Yep, it's going to start with me. I'm going to get things up and out of my house. Yep, they got to go at all costs. I'm not losing anything. I'm actually gaining. I'm gaining peace. Stop looking at what you're losing. Trust me, if God gave it to you before, he going to give it to you 10 times over now. Be willing to let that stuff go. We got our lives so much at a level we can't afford to lose it. So you better show up. And not only just show up, you better come correct and fight to win. You better fight to win. Because you have too much at stake. You are fighting for your children. You are fighting for yourself. You are fighting for God. How about that? When things start trembling and falling, you better know that that's God doing it. And how about this? There's a reason why God has you alone right now in this period, because you're not really alone. You're with him. And how about this? He's suiting up the army that's going along with you. He got them. He already got them lined up for you. He already got people who are literally like, we already in this fight because we done been through it. Now we here to show you how to go through it. Man, when you literally give your life over to God, things will start happening. Go and make sure that you are saying on one accord with Him that literally you and Him are one. You're one. And it may be difficult at times. That's why I love the fact that I can talk to Him, and the reason why I talk to Him, because He already knows it, but the fact that I open up my mouth to Him is when He can come in and start shifting and changing things. He knows I need the help. He knows I need better thinking. He knows I need to be able to say, God, I need better speech. I need to come to you without no fear, without any blockers. He knows that's in me. So you know what He's like? I'm removing them. But I need you to open up your mouth. Because the words and the power that you have in them, yep, open up your mouth. I already have it done. It's already in me for me to do them for you. He's just waiting on me. I'm no longer want to just keep saying, show up. Yeah, I'm showing up, but I'm showing up to win. I'm showing up in this fight, and I'm going to win. I'm going to win. I'm not going to play around. I ain't got time to play around. I don't. There's too much at risk. There's too much. So, man, I remember years ago, I was a kid. And my aunt, it was a girl who was like torturing my cousin. Like literally torturing. Like my cousin could not take it anymore. This girl just kept bullying my cousin. And I came down there to the house one time. And I stood up for my cousin. I would stand up for my cousins. And this girl kicked my behind. I mean, she tore me up. Tore me up. But I kept fighting her. I kept fighting her. My sister, who is a fighter like no other, my sister was like, you better get up and fight, because you know when I was about to say my aunt's name, when she get back, she ain't going for it. They made me fight. My sister and my cousin, bless her heart, she passed, but bless her heart, they made me fight, because it was like, you either fight her. And I remember my cousin telling me this. And I'm not crying because of the situation. I am crying because my cousin, God rest her beautiful soul, told me, if you don't fight her, she had a sassy little mouth. If you don't fight her, you gonna have to fight me. And I knew my cousin. And I was like, I'd rather fight you than one fight my cousin and fight her. Because she ain't wrapped too tight. She wrapped good. My cousin was loving. Don't get me wrong. But back then, that kid thing of like, I'm not going to fight my cousin. I've seen how she is. I don't want to fight her and my sister. So the fact that I can get my behind kicked and you beating me up. This girl was beating me up. But my cousin and my sister, I'm like, no. So I fought this girl nonstop. I mean, multiple times. Multiple times. And one thing I can say at the end of it, yeah, I end up winning. But you know what it taught me? It taught me that you better show up and fight to win. Fight to win. It's too much at risk. That was a risk for me to fight my sister and my cousin, even though I knew what what happened in my head, they would have beat me down for the fact that I let someone else, like, not necessarily beat me physically, but mentally beat me. And that's where the fight was. That where the fight was, where it was like, man, for me, I seen that even as a kid. This girl was destroying my cousin, yet I came down there with the intentions of just like, okay, it gotta stop. It gotta stop. And I really would say I didn't even go down there to fight. I didn't even go down there to fight. And that's why I kind of really referenced David. I didn't go down there to fight. I went down there to spend time with my cousin. And it just so happened that the girl ended up coming to pick with her. I was in the house minding my business. Minding my business. And the crazy thing about it is my cousin came back in the house just pissed off and tired. And I'm asking her, like, what is wrong with you? What are you running your mouth for? Leave it alone. Like, why would you want to, who needs a friend like this? Who needs somebody? Do you want somebody that bad to play with? And it was only multiple kids on the block, but like none her age. It's like, that's not a friend. Somebody who wants to be your friend one minute, but then pick on you, talk about you. That's not a friend. Thank God my cousin is totally like not like that now. Yeah. And I would say that right there was something for me. That taught me a lot. One, it also taught me I don't want to be a fighter like that. Who wants to sit up there and be like, oh yeah, I can do that? That's not what it is. The thing that got me was the mental thing of it was too much for me to lose myself. So yeah, that fight in the wind, it is something I came at all costs for me to get it out. And when I tell you, at the end of the fight, yeah, I end up still talking with the girl. And how about this? The girl, my cousin, and myself, for the rest of the summer, end up playing together, having a close relationship and everything. And we had a conversation, her and I, that same very night. And I said I wasn't going to let you do this anymore. Not only to my cousin, but not to me. We ended up shaking hands. And instantly went in the house. I forget what we actually did, but came back outside, ended up running around and playing together like it was nothing. But it was that getting over that fear. Getting over that, I don't even know necessarily if it was fear. It was more so of I would not be defeated. I would not be defeated. Because my sister and my cousin wasn't going to, beat me down. It was more so we'll be like, we got to do this so it can come up out of you. Because you cannot do this. You got to just show up. This war that we in right now, and I'm in a war like no other. But how about this? The one thing I can tell you about this war is nobody but God has me calm in it. Nobody has me feeling, one, I would say you guys here on YouTube know more about what's going on in my life without even me telling y'all a lot of what's going on in my life than anybody in my home and in my family. Yeah. Because one thing I also know about that is people will also egg you on in a fight, really wanting you to be defeated, really wanting you to lose. really wanting to talk smack and trash about you. You don't need to be in that kind of friendship or even with family. There is a such thing. One thing I can tell you what COVID has taught me, social distance, friend or family. You can keep your distance from people and still be social. You can, how about this? The best thing with COVID is being by yourself. Because the one person that you're going to be with is truly yourself. You're going to get to know who you are, who you really are. When you ask God to, it couldn't have came better. It couldn't have came together any better for me. It couldn't have. Asking God to reveal me to me. And then COVID, where you had to be isolated. And then you had to wear a mask. Yeah. So now that you can come out and take off your mask a little bit now, I got to see myself in a whole different light. We are not weak. We are not frail. We are no one's victims. You're not. You're not. How about this? Don't even put it in your spirit of even wanting to prove anyone wrong. And the reason why I say that is because people will see the change in you. And either you'll have people adapt and people will actually be in purpose and progress with you, and then you will have people who won't. But you will still need to make sure that you keep all your guards up. And when I say guards, all your armor and everything up. Because that spiritual warfare still may come. Not still, may come, will come. Because one thing I can tell you, and three things for sure, that the enemy is only out here to steal, kill, and destroy. Yeah. A lot of things have gotten revealed during COVID. For a lot of people. A lot of people. And don't look at it like it's bad. One thing I can say, COVID actually got me to see some true things in some true relationships. That really weren't even relationships. It was even with me. I was keeping them in my life for purposes of I just wanted to be connected. Or say I had someone. Oh yeah. Man, Jesus, when I tell you. We are here for a fight. And it's going to keep on happening. That's why we got to make sure we read and not only read in his word, but we got to have a steady, intentional prayer life with him. We got to have a relationship so deep rooted in him because he knows who we are. We got to get to know him more and more and more and more. You can't never have too much of him. Never. That's exactly why he says, I'm going to overflow you. I'm going to fill you up. And if you don't get what fill you up mean, fill you up is even when your glass seems to be running low and you get one drop come out of it, oh, he's going to fill more. Oh, you spill some, I'm going to pour more. Oh, well, it's a hole at the bottom. All right, we're going to fill more. We're going to have it filled that hole doesn't even exist. Or how about this? He's God. He can refill you up. He can change one glass and put it into another. You want to go that deep? You don't even have to go that deep. You're overthinking if you do that. When I tell you, I am so grateful for him. This love I've had for him, I've never had before. This love I have for myself, Audrey Lane, this woman right here, I never knew it could exist. When I thought I loved myself, I looked back like, God, I really wasn't loving myself. That was a front. I was faking it. But to have this love and this love affair that I have now, and just to know that I'm getting back what I'm giving out. There's not one way street here. It's so so much I can't even put into words sometimes. I swear to you, God, He is so amazing. Get a relationship with Him, not religion. Don't worry. You that where they say, oh, what religion are you? You tell them I'm in relation. Yeah, I'm in relation with God. I have a relationship with Him. Oh, you don't know? Me and Jesus, we one and one. Trust me. I love the fact that if all my conversation is all about Him, it's the best conversations I've ever had. The best conversations I've ever had. Who do you in the Bible do you find that you relate closely with? Who? Write it in your journal. More importantly, one thing I didn't do is write your time and your date out. Start tracking your stuff. Start tracking intentional prayers. Start tracking what it is you need in your relationship with Him. But more importantly, write and ask Him what it is and how do you see our relationship, God? What do you need me to bring to the table? Because how about literally everything is prepared, but you can still ask Him, what is it that you need me to bring? I love you guys. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful night. Man, Jesus. Yeah. I can't even go all into what I really want to go into. Yeah, now is not the time. I got so much more on my plate of this fight. So much more that I got to get out. Jesus Christ. Yeah. You guys have a good evening. You. Oh, Jesus. Man. I love you guys. I love you guys. I truly do. Make sure you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful rest of the night. More importantly, make sure you guys are loving God. Thank you guys so much for subscribing to the channel. Yeah, I can't even get that out because right now I got so much more that I would love to kind of get out with you guys. I do. My journal, I'm already claiming tomorrow. I'm going to put some more things in there about this fight. This fight, round two. Yeah, round two. Round two. And it's only probably going to be round two because I didn't get it out. Because you're winning the first fight. You're going to keep on winning. You're going to keep on winning. And you know how I know it's going to be this fight that we're going to win? Because it's already mapped out for us. God already said it so. I'll be back on with you guys, God willing, tomorrow. Have a good evening. Bye now.